Hello my gorgeous peopleini, my name is Sasha Bonasin and I'm a psychic medium, and these weekly horoscope tarot card readings are going to be for the air signs of the actual zodiacs, which are Gemini, Libra and Aquarius, and this forecast is going to be in between the 13th and the 20th of January 2022, and of course these readings are going to be individually time-stamped indeed. So now I'm going to start with my gorgeous Gemini. My gorgeous Geminini, you know what? There is going to be a little surprise that you're actually going to have this week, and this is going to be quite good for you indeed in so many different ways, because it's to do with a bit of a waiting game. It's just a certain aspect of your life that you have been waiting for, that got stuck like kind of in the process in between, not because of you did anything wrong or anything negative or anything bad or anything like that, but because of purely because of the kind of like influence, you know, from the outside, you know, the energy from the outside kind of affected you, your way of thinking and your way of planning, which is nothing unusual at this moment in time. So, you know, why am I trying to say that there's a specific part of your life that you wanted to kind of move on, that you wanted to flow, you know, freely? When it comes to spiritual energy and your vibration, this is really important, you know, for your own way of thinking, but it's also at the same time very important for you to kind of give you something like to really look forward to. So this really means that this is something so significant to you, like there is no tomorrow. The bottom line is, my gorgeous Geminini, that this week you are actually going to find yourself on a very interesting path, and I like it so much. And before you find yourself on that interesting path, my gorgeous Geminini, you need to remember that you're gonna feel like a really kind of brand new fresh energy in your life. You're gonna feel the energy that you didn't feel in a long time, and this energy is gonna motivate you. This energy is going to rejuvenate you. This energy is going to re-energize you. This energy is going to increase your vibration. And when all these aspects happen in our lives, you know, at exactly the same time, it means that you are going to be like my lord, like ridiculously enthusiastic. There are going to be a couple of, you know, 2 or 3 different times this week that you're going to feel this, oh my god, like enthusiasm. And this is so important for you to understand. When you feel this optimistic energy, when your vibration increases, when you feel this enthusiasm, also at the same time you have all sorts of ideas that are going to be super beneficial for your current path. You're going to have all sorts of like kind of realizations that you wouldn't normally have, and above all you get like this absolutely wonderful confidence through you wanting to explore things and to you wanting to try things. So yeah, most certainly when you have this like kind of like a fresh energy, when you feel so re-energized at some point this week, you know, you need to remember that at the same time, please follow your own subconscious mind, follow your intuition, because your intuition is going to be guiding you to the place where you should be. So this is exactly what is going to happen. Through your own enthusiasm, you're going to decide to do something so important, and this is to do purely with the next step, next stage of your life. And you know what, even more so, brand new energy is going to come in, and it's going to make you feel even more courageous, even more optimistic, and that is also going to help you to kind of like concentrate on the situation in your life from a much higher angle, so you're able to see things that are like not really important to you to focus on right now, but you're also most importantly able to see things that are calling you, things that are important to you, things that you feel really attracted to, because most certainly it's about a new beginning. Through your own enthusiasm, you're going to explore the certain part of your life, and once you start exploring this, everything is going to change, because you are gonna pretty much so start doing like the certain project, you know, which is going to at the same time going to be connected to so many unlimited possibilities. So it's like these bright prospects that are about to walk into your life, bright prospects that are about to manifest in your life, you know. And it's also like the magic of that moment. It's going to open your eyes, and it's going to help you realize so many unlimited possibilities, so many possibilities that you didn't realize before. So this is absolutely brilliant. You are going to make the step in the right direction, but you just need to remember, my gorgeous Gemini, to trust yourself, to trust yourself. This is the time to trust yourself, because this is also the beginning of your personal rebirth. This in itself is going to be so important. You know why this is going to be so important? It's going to be important for your personal financial security. It's going to be important for your personal success. It's going to be important for you to financially protect things that belong to you, financially to protect things in general, by doing the right thing in life that you should be doing, you know, exploring things, exploring your options, because this is going to bring you success, what I'm talking about. It's going to bring you accomplishment. It's going to bring you contentment, you know, like a spiritual contentment, but also at the same time financial contentment, because this is the road that is going to lead towards your own success, my gorgeous Geminis. And this is why this is so important, because my God, this later on, oh my God, you know, within the next 9 months, this is going to lead, you know, towards a really specific and powerful and quite significant celebration. And even more so, it's going to help you to kind of like fix the certain conflicts in your life, if I can say like that, you know, because it looks like you were kind of maybe even like fighting with yourself. You were like quite struggling with yourself a lot, because you just felt like pretty much so really stuck in the moment, you know. You just felt like you're not doing what you should be doing. You're not kind of using options in your life that you should be using. You're not like on the path that you should be, for example, you know. And now the certain time has passed, and now this is just most certainly going to refresh you, re-energize you, and it's really going to kind of make you feel very firm on the ground, you know. This in itself, it's also kind of going to be so beneficial when it comes to the certain conflicts that you have been through, and a certain misunderstanding in between you and some other people. Maybe you were trying to like kind of express your opinion, what you're gonna do next, and maybe somebody just didn't kind of want to agree with this. They couldn't understand where you're coming from. So you are most certainly going to be able to prove the certain point to, you know, like a significant or certain people in your life. But most importantly, it's about you. It's about you realizing this and proving a certain point to you. This is a very much so to do, making an important step towards an unknown part of your life. But this is going to be absolutely remarkable in so many different ways. And let's just see what the oracle card is, which oracle card is going to come out, my gorgeous Gemini as well, which oracle card is going to come out. And this is pretty much so for the period and stage in between the 13th and the 20th of January 2022. Boundaries, you see. This is so important, but in this instance, what this means is that you need to prove your point, you know. This is a very important for you to ignore the negativities from the outside, ignore the negative vibration, ignore the negative energy. This is you about proving the certain point to yourself, above anyone else. First of all, you need to come, and then other people in your life. This is a very important moment in time when you just need to remember to stay on your path, because it looks like that maybe somebody from the outside, somebody who like kind of doesn't share particular opinion with you, it's going to kind of try to change your mind about something. So you just need to remember to stay on your path. It's very important. So therefore, follow your intuition and pay attention to those things that I say, to the ideas, pay attention to the enthusiasm that I was talking about, because that in itself, it's also coming from somewhere very, very deep within that most certainly you should be following. Okay, so now the next air sign that I'm going to be talking about is going to be my gorgeous Libra. So Libra, this reading is in between the actual 13th and the 20th of January 2022. So now, you know, my God, you're going to have such a powerful idea, an important idea. It's at the same time going to reawaken you. And you know what's quite interesting? That when you have the idea this week, first of all, you're going to be like, you know what? No, it can't happen. No, it's not going to happen. No, there are lots of negative aspects that are like gonna come through, gonna try to come through, and these negative aspects are gonna be very heavy in compared to that idea that you are thinking about. And now you just need to find this golden middle in between, and you need to realize that this is the part of the challenge, you know. This is the part of the challenge when that particular idea comes up. Do not bring yourself down no matter what. Do not think negatively no matter what. Do not block yourself, you know, no matter what. It doesn't matter what is going on in your life at this very moment in time. I know it's very difficult sometimes. I know it's very easy because a lot, like really a lot is going on out there. But in order to win through this like a darkness that's going on at the moment, you just need to pretty much as much as you possibly can. You need to carry on with your life, my gorgeous Libra, and you need to keep going. And I'm saying this to you because you're naturally born sign with like a very much so powerful energy of your own existence when it comes to the understanding of your third psychic eye and having psychic powers. You know, you're one of those signs who are like very much so strongly born with it. It comes to you naturally. So this is why you sometimes get like kind of thrown apart, because you're like focusing on a lot what is going on around you and not even realizing how much actually of your energy this is draining in terms of you trying to make a certain decisions to your life until you reach this particular moment in time. So you just have to trust yourself. It's a very important idea that you are going to have, and that idea in itself, it's pretty much so to do with your finances, it's to do with your career, and if you're retired, you know, it's to do with the financial situation. But at the same time, it's about doing the right thing, you know, something that is going to make you so much happier, something that you have been keep on leaving behind, but something also that is just going to help you to see pretty much so the light at the end of the long dark tunnel. This is really kind of important because it's going to help you with things that you have been worrying about, you know. You just feel, my gorgeous Libra, that, you know, like lately, so far, you had so much on your mind, so much what's going on, so many things, you know, in your mind, like when it comes to you thinking, when it comes to you worrying, when it comes to you like kind of thinking about the certain aspects of your future. But then again, so many uncertainties kind of pulled you down and made you feel rather negative, and this is what caused this blockage when it comes to you. But also, you know, it's to do with the problems and negativities that you've had, you know, like you had so much on your back. So this in itself is just gonna cut off like a half of your problems and negativities, so much more than you would you could possibly imagine at that moment in time. Once you trust yourself, once you trust your process, this is gonna help you with the problem, with the specific problem that you had in particular over the last 10 months. You know, it was just slowing you down, but also at the same time, it was just causing you to have a difficulties in order to recognize that, you know, the next path in your life. So this kind of slowed you down. So this is going to be really important. Do not forget how significant this idea is actually going to be, my gorgeous Libra. And this is not something huge. This is not something brand new. This is pretty much so to do with your current path. So it's to do with things that you have been working on, what you have been focusing on, whether this is like pretty much so whether you're working, so this is to do with your career. If you're looking for work, it's pretty much so to do with this. And if you're retired, it's to do with the next stage, the next step in your life. It's so strong and powerful that this is to do with your own calling. So to some of you, you know, this is kind of going to come with like a bit of like an element of surprise, because pretty much so it's to do with taking a certain aspect into your life and try to kind of like inspect it as much as you possibly can, because that in itself, it's going to help you to understand where you are right now, but most importantly, what exactly the next step is going to be. But that next step is going to require from you to be yourself, to trust yourself, and to do things 1,000,000% only like things that come from you, without any kind of like darkness, or without any uncertainty. You know, if you don't jump in the water, you're never going to learn how to swim. So this is your moment to jump, my gorgeous Libra, and it's most certainly going to be important. It's about the inspiration. It's about the inspiration coming into your life. You know, it's about you feeling re-energized just by thinking about that inspiration, and you're not even going to be able to understand like where this like kind of energy it's coming from. from. But as the time goes by this week, this is going to make more sense and more sense and more sense, my gorgeous Libra. Indeed, there are three very important aspects that are going to start happening this week that have been very stale so far. Three very important aspects. One aspect is to do with your personal healing and your personal vibration. The second aspect, it's when it comes to the finances and financial situation, you know, it's just about this feeling and vibration and energy that you're going to have, so you will know that the door that are about to open for you. You will know that there is a portal that is about to open for you. And the third aspect, my gorgeous Libra, is just basically about doing the right thing, you know, when it comes to like having so many kind of problems. I'm not saying, oh my God, you had so many problems, but you were worrying so much, and now you're just going to absolutely go through. You're going to cut through this darkness. You will cut through this energy, and you will see that the power is within you. The more you give credit to yourself, the more powerful you are going to be. The more you follow your own intuition, and the more you think about the next stage in your life, it's going to be rather than ignoring negativity, the more you're going to get out of it, my gorgeous Libra. Very important indeed. I'm just going to see what is going to be an oracle card. Okay, my gorgeous Libra, your oracle card is going to be, my goodness, bum, bum. You see this confidence, surprise, surprise. You're going to come across the situation this week where you are going to be facing like some kind of ludicrous person, you know. You're going to be facing some kind of a little bit of a dark person, you know, somebody with a mask, with a very thick mask, with a very thick layer. And once that mask is down, you see very much so darkness. You see a person who is just, there is something not quite right with them, person who's not using their mind anymore, and person who gave in. And when person gives into the darkness and negativity, they are just basically guided and driven by the negative devilish forces, and then they're just like completely like a computer that is just like a responding to what the devilish forces are projecting on these creatures, if I can say like this. So that person is not somebody who's completely connected to your life, but that person is going to be playing an important role, because you're going to come across that person, and that person is going to have this power to suck out your energy, to drain your energy. So when they do that, these devilish people, then they just kind of take over, and they place their opinion on us, you know, what they think they put on us, so we don't think with our own minds. So this is something that you need to remember. The balance that you will have, it's going to be absolutely perfect. And the way that you need to respond to this situation, it's most certainly just respond by being yourself. It's going to be like a little bit uncomfortable, because they will want you to respond this in a specific way, but no, baby, no. You need to respond what you think is the right thing to respond. And this is where the games are going to start, baby. The best possible game, because you will realize something, you know, something is going to start crumbling on the other side, but you will know exactly what I mean. So this is important, to act and to say those things that only like kind of make sense to you, not to say things that make sense to them because it makes sense to them. So this is something that you need to remember. It needs to come from you, and that in itself is going to bring you a spiritual reward almost immediately. Okay, so the third air sign that I'm going to be talking about, it's going to be my gorgeous Aquarius. My gorgeous Aquamarini, you know, it's just like a festival. You're going to become aware of like a really important accomplishment, and I'm so happy for you. But before you become aware of the certain accomplishment, you know, you're going to look at someone who really inspires you. You're going to be reconnected with somebody who really inspires you. But that person who inspires you, you were kind of disconnected just a little bit. So now this is the time of reconnection. Reconnection is very important. Maybe you just fall apart a little bit. Maybe you've fallen out a little bit. You know, fall apart, I mean like falling out a little bit. Maybe you had a bit of an argument not that long ago and things like that. It doesn't really matter. It's about somebody who is a prominent figure in your life that you're going to have this reconnection. And that reconnection, it's going to pretty much so, you know, you will see something about that person, something so necessary, something so important, something so powerful, powerful, that is going to remind you of who you are really in the best possible way. And that in itself is going to start ticking the little boxes within you. And I really like this, because energetically you're coming home to yourself. Energetically you're going to start giving credit to yourself. Energetically you're going to start feeling this rejuvenation and rebirth at that very moment in time. This is going to reflect on you giving a credit to yourself. So this energy, it's going to be very beneficial. So it's all about that accomplishment that I said, and then suddenly you're going to become aware of the certain accomplishment in your life. Maybe you didn't give credit to yourself, which is possible, and maybe you weren't aware of like how powerful you are and how significant you are. So through this person, your eyes are going to be open again, and that in itself, it's going to be your strength. That in itself is going to be your power. That in itself is going to be a huge, massive moment, because your eyes are going to be open, not only towards the specific part of your life that you need to give a credit to. Because when you give a credit to yourself for good things that you have done, it's like a spiritual water, like watering yourself and growing like a big banana. You know, it's important. It's just so important, my gorgeous, my gorgeous aquamarines, because you know, it is something that is going to bring an important balance into your life, but also as well, it's going to help you to see the actual very important opportunity, very, very important opportunity. And that particular opportunity is just going to come out of that situation. And let me tell you something, my gorgeous aquamarine, is that that particular opportunity comes like maybe once in a lifetime, really. This is how important this opportunity actually is, but it's to do with combination of your experience, what you have done so far, what have you learned so far, and most importantly, what you are going to do next. That in itself is like, oh my God, my gorgeous aquamarine, that is going to lead towards a really huge moment in time. It's going to help you to rebalance yourself, and you will see exactly what your sacred gift is. What your sacred gift is, it's like absolutely enormous at this moment in time, absolutely enormous. And and when I say sacred gift, every single one of us is like special and gorgeous and beautiful, when, you know, like in our own ways. But also at the same time, every single one of us is being put on this earth. You know, we are part of this earth, you know, in order to make the most of it. But you can only make the most of it by being yourself and by not giving your power away. So this is something that is most certainly going to open your eyes, and it's going to make you aware, like very promptly, very importantly, very significantly, what a sacred gift it is. This is so big, my gorgeous aquamarines, because this moment in time is going to start changing everything in itself. What was like murky, it's going to be clear. What was down is going to be up. What was negative, it's going to be positive. All these things respond to us in a rather spiritual and magnetic way, when we respond to these things in a way that we should respond to. So which means that you have learned a very important lesson as well so far over the last 3 years that you will not want to repeat. But most certainly, this is the time of you coming home to yourself, but also realizing your calling. It's your calling, your calling, your calling. What you are here, who you are here, and what you're working on, and most importantly, what your sacred gift is. It's also going to reveal to you what your calling actually is. You know, to some of you, this is going to be like, oh my God, for the first time. But to some of you, it's going to be like, you know, to bringing something very additional into your life, that it's going to become, and it's kind of like relevant so much, pretty much so, you know, so much. But then on another hand, it's going to lead towards the actual you know, later on, few days after that moment in time, you're also kind of going to be having a moment by yourself, and you're going to see something, you're going to realize something, and then what you're going to see is just going to confirm things to you. But more importantly, that confirmation, it's also going to kind of bring all sorts of ideas, and where you're going to be very clever here, because you're going to decide to be loyal to yourself. This is what you need to remember. You need to be loyal to yourself. It's important now, okay? Which means that maybe there are going to be some people around that are going to kind of having a negative effect or impact on you. So you just kind of need to understand this is the part of your challenge. So what I was going to say, it's all about you seeing something a few days later, and that in itself is going to give you an idea, but also it's going to confirm things to you. And also in between, before you see that, you know, it's just all about like kind of, you're going to feel so excited about like stepping towards the new part of your life. But then again, just just remember, patience is very, very important here. I can see that it's going to be on your mind. I want to do this now, straight away, immediately. But you need to understand, one step at a time. This is the time when you're going to realize things. You're going to start process. You're going to see what you need to see in order to get the maximum knowledge for your next step, my gorgeous aquamarinis, indeed. So I'm just going to see what is going to be your oracle card. My gorgeous aquamarinis, let's just see what is going to be your oracle card here. Confidence, you see this, very, very important. Your oracle card is confidence. So you just also need to understand that you will be facing the situation where somebody is like kind of going to be telling you something. Somebody's going to be talking to you this week. Somebody's going to be telling you something and you're almost going to kind of believe them for what they say. But this is the reason why I say this, because that particular person is not really good. That particular person is negative. It's very low in vibration and they don't mean well. It means that they have lost themselves like a long time ago, and sadly they have lost themselves to the actual darkness, and this is when these devilish forces like kind of take over and make these creatures say what they want them to say, you know. I hope this is not confusing, but basically you will be facing the person this week who you know that there is something not quite right about them. And they're almost gonna kind of get you. Please don't get me wrong, you'll be absolutely fine, but they're almost gonna get you, because this is what they do. They kind of place so much of the negativity on us, so it's very hard to find a way out, you know. And then almost people start believing to what what they hear. So it's very important for you to remember, you will be facing a person who is going to kind of try to tell you something and try to like make you do something or something like that. But have a confidence to be yourself. Have a confidence to respond how you want to respond. Have a confidence to be yourself. Follow your intuition. You know the answer. You know that something is right and something is not right, you know. And most certainly here you will know that something is not right. So have a confidence to respond back, which means that person will have a very, very strong energy, you know, but you are going to be the one who's going to be stronger anyway, so it doesn't matter. Okay, my gorgeous people, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you. So I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you, my gorgeous people. Thank you ever so much for watching my videos. Sasha Bonasin, psychic medium. Love you. Bye.